Fran, start with Matt. His performance.
Well, you know, I said the other day it was a shame that we didn't ride his performance in the second half at Penn State because he was so spectacular. He's just been playing as well, if not better than anybody in this league. And, you know, coaching's easy when you just can start, running some clock and then run something for him. We just kept going to him a different way, and he just kept ringing the bell.
How big was that, though? They closed it to 10. They were kind of making a little run.
They closed it to 10. I felt pretty good. We still had a 10-point lead. We panicked a little bit, not in the sense that we were coughing it up, but in the sense that we were quick shooting the ball. Now, of course, Zach was open, Marvel was open at one time. But when a team is trying to come back, what they want you to do is quick shoot the ball there. And then they were scoring quickly. So the lead went from, 18 to 10 or 19 to 10 very quickly. And that's not what you want. You want to at least take some time. And they were getting very physical. Well, you're not going to get to the free throw line if you're just jump shooting the ball. So we started, putting it on the deck, and we got to the free throw line and made enough.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of a senior putting the team on his shoulders. Matt knew you guys were fading a little bit, and he finished strong.
Well, I think the toughest one, Rick, is the first one. That gave us a little bit of breathing room, and then he got confidence, and then we got confidence. Our defense perked up after that, and then he just kept going. We just kept calling something different. I mean, the one at the end of the shot clock from about 25 feet, yeah. that was pretty good too.
Melson brought real energy to the game.
I'm really proud of him. I mean, the thing, you look and say 13 and 7, 4 for 5, 5 for 6, pretty good day, but the way he impacted the game was 5 blocks. It changes everything. It changes everything for them, it changes everything for us.
Yeah, the way he played defensively, the blocks obviously, but then just overall interior defense, is that something that has been missing in games such as the first Indiana one?
Well, I think his energy level has been decent. It's not been what I think he was capable of. And I think we saw today what he's capable of. I mean, he's going against a lottery pick, and he played pretty well.
How much did you challenge your team based on the last game with Indiana and Bloomington, where they scored 103 on you and had a dunk contest?
We have had issues at the defensive end of the floor all year long. I have challenged them in a variety of ways every time we have faltered. The thing I think that made this win special for us, Rick, is we needed everybody. I mean, how great was Darius Stokes? He plays 5 minutes, he gets a rebound, and then he gets a tip in. And played great defense and played with great energy. Brandon Stubbs was fighting. Andrew Brahman with a tip dunk. Archie's in for 1 minute, and he gets a rebound. So actually 2 rebounds. So all of that together, we can survive a 4 for 17 by Marvel. And the fact that he was absolutely exhausted at the end of the game. I thought late Oglesby and Gatens really helped him handle the ball, and so did Aaron White.
What triggered the rotation that you had there with, I believe it was Andrew, Gabe, and Darius, having all 3 of them in at once?
Well, the one thing we had was when that lineup's on the floor, it's a little bit inexperienced, not so much with Andrew, with the other 2, but it's a lineup that has great size. So we could compete in the post, we could compete on the glass, and that's what we did. So whereas it's not necessarily as good offensively, it can actually be even better defensively.
The rebounding was a big issue in Bloomington, and you guys won the battle of the post.
Well, you know what? I mean, you look at, there's so many things you could look at in that game, but one of the things was 20 offensive rebounds and 15 defensive rebounds. So they had more offensive rebounds than we had defensive rebounds. And that just couldn't be the case tonight. We had to limit them, and they're so big and strong, especially now that they've taken Riddell Jones out of the starting lineup, and they're going with the big lineup. And you got 6'9", 6'9", 6'11". You got Oladipo, who's 6'6", and that is a big, athletic, rebounding team. And early on, they were flying at the glass. So I thought the way we limited them to 11, and we had 16, and we had 41 to their 35. That's obviously very important.
You're 2 games under 500 in the league, but you're 3-3 against 9 teams this year. Is that something you look at and say, hey, we're getting closer?
Well, you look at three wins over ranked teams. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And obviously, one of them was on the road, and they're coming in here Thursday. They're ranked again, deservedly so, playing as well as anybody in the country. So, I think it's an example of what we're capable of. So, I think we have to look at that and then say, all right, that's how good we can be. All right, now in some games that maybe we could have or should have won, all right, what didn't we do? And it's frustrating to look back and say, boy, we were really close. You know, we had a double-digit lead in the second half against Nebraska. There's different games, but at some point, you've got to respect what they did and learn from what we didn't do and then try to get better. And I think as the season's progressed, we have done that.
How much of a meat grinder is the Big Ten, where Penn State beats you on Illinois, gets whacked yesterday, and then you take out Indiana? Just from top to bottom, it just seems to be anybody can beat anybody.
Well, it's the best conference top to bottom in the country. They're not even close. I mean, the quality of teams top to bottom, and that's why it's the #1 ranked conference in the NCAA.